Hey everyone, welcome again to our weekly Amazon Zoom. And tonight, I'm super excited because I'm gonna have my wife Veronique here. I better not mess this intro because she's gonna kill me after the call. But I've been with Veronique for many years. We've been in business for over 10 years already, and she's been there with me since the beginning. So I want to bring her on here because I want her to share the beginnings of our businesses, the struggles, the reality of having a business, being a parent, being married, you going through, all the struggles, ups and downs, being at the top, being at the bottom, you know what I mean? So I just want to bring her here because I think she would it's gonna be better for her to explain the process versus me because I'm very logical and she has a different perspective, right, of what we've been through and are going through at the moment. So with that being said, here's my wife Veronique. And she's gonna share more about, I guess, her life, but you know what I mean.
It's open book, guys. Just ask me anything.
Yeah, I'm more logical, and Veronique's more, I guess, deep. So she's gonna bring a different dynamic to the call. So sounds
I
good.
just love connecting with people. I think that's me. Hi guys, like Lewis said, my name is Veronique. Thank you guys for having me tonight. I know it's a little bit different because you guys are used to like your Amazon, like going into Amazon and everything. And I am into Amazon too, but I am in a little bit, I guess I would say I'm like in the back end of everything. So I've been with Lewis for 14 years. We've been married 10 years. We have 3 kids. I don't know if Lewis has shared the story of how we met, but we actually were nurses. Lewis was my teacher, and I was the nursing student. Um, he was teaching me, I don't know, what were you teaching me? How to give shots, wound care, and then he asked for my number. And then from there, it took off. A little bit once we had my son, we got into network marketing just by chance because of my mom's health. Mitchell said smooth guy. He was pretty smooth, yeah. He was. What did you say? Hey girl, what's your number? But we got into network marketing because of my mom's health, and that's kind of when we started kind of drifting away from the nursing world. I still love and I appreciate nurses for all they do, and I know it's a really hard job. um, but we knew that we wanted to make a change because our we had 2 kids. Lewis was working nights, I was working days, and we knew that we just couldn't continue. Like, we weren't seeing each other on holidays, we were barely spending time with kids, my parents were babysitting a lot, so we're like, okay, we got to do something different. And that's when we got into network marketing.
What year was that?
That was 2013, right? 2013 to
Yeah.
2014. And then from our network marketing, we went to a party one night, and this guy was talking about e-commerce and drop shipping. And that is how we started getting into the e-com world. And then after that, we left network marketing. We went all in with e-commerce, and we just started learning everything we could about drop shipping. And then we got into, am I going too fast?
No, you're good.
Okay. 2000, and when did we start Amazon?
Well, 2015 is when we left nursing.
2015 we left nursing. 2018 we got into ecom, and then officially started Amazon in 2020. And it was definitely, how can I say, like,
For Amazon?
Amazon was like a whole new world. So I understand if you guys are like beginners and it's like, wow, a whole new world, it's overwhelming, you don't really know like what to do. And I let me just say, just be patient with it, you will get there. I used to, when Lewis and I first started Amazon, we did it where we didn't have this method of where like you buy the products, send them to the fulfillment, and then to Amazon. So we actually started by sending products to our house. And I was 8 months pregnant with our third baby, and our house was a warehouse. And I told Lewis, like, I cannot do this anymore because we just had products everywhere, and then we'd have to box them and send them to Amazon. but it was a learning process, and we learned that's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to have Amazon where we didn't touch the products. We wanted it easy for our lifestyle because we do have kids. So I really love the method that we came up with, or what that Lewis came up with, of I feel like I kind of nudged you into pushing that method, because I was like, no more products can come to the house unless I'm ordering the products
But for like personal use,
for
right?
personal use. And so he started this method of like finding fulfillment places that you can ship the products to. They'll do all the boxing for you, send them to Amazon, and then Amazon obviously does everything else with like customer service, everything like that. But yeah, I don't, what else should I share? Like just the journey of being in business.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions? I really want, if you guys have any questions, either Amazon related or business related, go ahead and ask away.
Or type in the chat, and that way you have an
Yeah,
idea of
type in
of
the
like where to
chat.
go with this. But I guess we can just talk about like how is it really in the beginning, and then
So beginning when we left nursing to start into business, I know our mindsets were very different. Um, you go from this kind of having a paycheck and knowing, hey, I'm going to make this much, to not really knowing. You're going based off of what you kind of put out there. And so it was, I don't know, for most women, I've heard for most women, it's that our number one thing is stability. So it's very hard to go from, hey, we're making this much and now we're not making this much. And how much are we going to make this month? We don't know. So it was a lot of risk taking and a lot of changing my mindset in the way of just not knowing, but knowing that no matter what we do, no matter if we don't quit, we're going to be okay. And so I've kind of always had that mentality of not to quit, no matter how hard it gets, just don't quit. Um, and
well, do people need to quit their jobs though, or can this be done part-time?
this can be, that's the thing about Amazon, is you could do this part-time. I never recommend for anyone to quit their job unless you really hate your job. If you go into work every single day and you wish you weren't there, or like what Lewis used to do, Lewis would go to work and he would not work. He would be listening to all these podcasts and get caught. Like I was like, listen, either you're going to get fired, you're not going to have good recommendations. Like, well, you're driving an hour and a half to work. Why are you even, like, what's the point? There's no point. So quit, give your 2 weeks notice, leave in a good standing. We'll try this and see if it works. If not, at least you still have that good relationship with your ex-boss. So they'll give you like a recommendation. So I do recommend, if you hate your job to the point where you hate going to work every day, maybe start looking for another job. Or if you think it is time to take entrepreneurship to the next level and you have all the support that you need from maybe your husband or your wife or your parents or friends and family, I would say go ahead and take the leap. But I would never tell someone like, no, just go ahead and quit your job just like that.
It's a different beast, right?
It's a whole different beast. We had to go to a bunch of seminars. We had to go to a bunch of events. We went through therapy. We've done so much counseling in trying to change just the way we thought before. We had to let go of a lot of things, like friendships, family members too, just things that were stopping us from wanting to get to the next stage in our life and our business as well. And that's a lot. That's a lot, especially in the beginning of starting a business. So
Yeah. Why don't you like touch on the importance of personal development
personal
with
development.
any business? Doesn't matter if you're doing this full-time, part-time. Like, why is it so important?
I say personal development. I don't care what business you're in. That's like the number one thing that you should work on daily. I don't care how much money you have in the bank. You could have $1 million, but if your mindset and your self-development is like really bad, then it's not really going to make you happy. It doesn't matter how much money you have. So I always focus on what can I get better personally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. Like we're always working, what can I do better as parents? What can I do better as my daughter? What can I do better as a friend? Things that I can constantly have like a goal to work on. And I think that just kind of keeps you on track. So money is not always the motivation because yes, money is great. Money gets us. We have to survive with money. But if you have just that one goal, once you do have the money, what are you going to do with it? Because that's what's going to make you happy. Like I already know for Lewis, like what's one thing? Why do you like money? To
I mean, freedom,
and travel.
travel.
That's freedom to travel. That was one of the things that he was not able to do as a nurse because he would be working 7 days a week, going in on his days off, never have time for family. And that was kind of what pushed you and why you wanted more, right? Right. Um, and then for me, it was I like to money, I like to give. So like I like to give to our parents. I love to be able to give to like his family. I love to travel too. So I guess Amazon kind of just worked perfectly for us because it's something that you can do even if you're not at home. So we were in Japan in November and we're still, we could still work from our laptop if we wanted to because it's there and we could just take our laptop. So it's pretty,
Or you can take a break too.
or you could take a break too, whatever. That's the beauty of it is that you can do it part-time. You can do it from anywhere as long as you have your laptop, right? And basically just choose your own hours and be your own boss when it comes to, at least you got to put in the work, you got to learn about it. You have to take the steps to learn about all the Amazon data and research and product research buying and things like that. So
And then for someone who's new in business, like what kind of personal development should they do, you think? Because we're talking about like next level already, but what if you're still in the beginning stages? Like it's your first year of business.
first year of business. Okay. So 10 things I would do.
Well,
Like,
not 10, but
okay, five. I'll give five. First thing I would do if this is your very first year in business, number one is your support system. Who do you surround yourself with? Do they support you fully in what you're doing, or are they constantly telling you you're crazy and what are you doing? You're going to lose your money, things like that, because all of that matters. If you have people constantly telling you you're going to fail, then you're always subconsciously going to be thinking, oh my gosh, this is not going to work out. I'm going to fail. Oh, you're just going to have that in your brain. So number one would be try to surround yourself with like-minded people who are always going to constantly support you and root for you and tell you, hey, you got this, like, way to go. Even if you invested $50 and you made, I don't know, $100 profit, people who are actually going to root for you when you win. It doesn't matter how much you win. They're just going to be constantly rooting you on. Try to stay around those people as much as you can. Number two would be, I would say definitely invest in yourself. Invest in programs, invest in people that you really want to learn from, because those are the people that are going to really help you get to the next level. I know that we always want to be the ones to try and do everything on our own, but I feel like I always want to be in the room where people know more than me. I don't want to be in the room where I'm the person who knows everything because then I'm like the teacher. I'd rather be with other people that know way more than me, have made way more than me, because I want to learn from them. So that would be my second. Maybe five was too many. Three. Three would take baby steps. Also like just constantly just keep going. I would say don't quit. Even if it's hard, I know those days where you're just like, man, this is really rough. Like I cannot do this anymore. I'm I just don't know what the next move to make. Everyone, doesn't think this is going to work out. I don't think this is going to work out. That's when you know when you shouldn't quit. When you literally have every doubt in your mind that it's not going to work out, that's when you need to push and be like, no, 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 wait. I'm going to write all my positivities down and why this should work out, or why do I want this to work out. Number 4 would be, what? Help me out, babe. What's in the very beginning?
I'm just putting you in the fire right now.
I know. Okay. I do
Or
have more.
we just answer some questions.
Okay. No, wait. I can come up with 2 more. Work on your mindset. Like, I think all of this mindset plays with all of this. Like, if you, with anything, try to have a positive mindset with everything. What's number 5? Number 5 is, I guess, save so that you can invest, or look into programs that can help you build capital, work on credit or things like that. Watch YouTube's videos of how you can learn on how to build your credit, or anything that you want to learn about. Keep learning. I think that would be my last number 5. Read. I always like listen to podcasts, things that I don't know about that I want to know about. Oh, and I have one last one. Sorry. I was try to like stay away from like I said, negative people. Try to not listen to negative things like negative news, negative music. All of that plays a part. So if you like wake up in the morning and you're listening to all these like fearful things and negative things all throughout the day, you're going to be thinking about that stuff instead of waking up and listening to a podcast on how you can start your Amazon store and make 10K in 3 months. It's going to be you just try it and you'll see how your day is different. I'll answer some questions now. What do you do on the back end, and how do you manage that with being a mom with the kids and activities and all that? That's a great question. So I have to be very like, Lewis is all in the business. Like, you guys know, he's always talking to you guys. He's always the ones in the chat. Unfortunately, I can't do that because I know with my schedule with the kids, I can't. Usually when I talk to people, I'm very like, it's more like, hey, how are you? How's life going? And that's where I come in. And I have to be very organized. So when Lewis has things that I need to do on the back end, I have them on my schedule. So he'll be like, okay, this is what's tomorrow's going to look like. I need you to do these paperworks. I need you to, I help with the VA business as well. So like, I talk to the VAs, maybe customers with the VAs. I also help with like social media. I help with,
I mean, it's different now because we're in different phase. But
right.
in the beginning, for example, in the drop shipping days, you were literally like,
oh, the drop
drop
shipping
shipping
days
was-
I was all in. But I did only have 2 kids at that time, and I was pregnant, but I was able to do more because both my kids were in school. So now that we have my 2-year-old, I definitely had to change my schedule because most of my time does go to her. But also once my older kids come home from school, they know like, hey, I got to get on a Zoom, or I got to go to this event, or I got to do this. My 15-year-old steps in and helps, with my toddler and things like that. So I think it takes a lot of organization, which Lewis has helped me a lot in that. He always says, hey, you have your planner, you have your notebook. I have to write everything down that I'm going to do in that week. So that's something I've always constantly had to work on, is being more organized and just writing everything down that I want to get done. Because if not, I think it's just all in here. And I'm like, oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to take this kid to basketball. I got to take this kid to karate, dentist appointments, all of that. I handle all of that stuff. So, but yeah, organization, I say, would be the number one thing to do.
And then when we were doing Amazon, you were, I mean, packing and prepping with me too, right?
Yes.
Taking boxes UPS. I mean, we used to go to Home Depot and pick up some heaters.
Yeah.
So,
Jerry,
yeah.
Jerry said money needs to be a tool or avenue and not the end goal. Right. Yes. 2 questions. 1, why did you change from basically FBM to FBA, and why not choose drop shipping instead of FBA? So on Amazon, they actually don't allow drop shipping. And the reason why we changed is because I didn't want a warehouse at our house. I know it works for some people. Like my cousin, she think she was making like 20K a month, and she literally goes to the store, she buys all her products, she wraps them herself, she tapes them herself, and she sends them to Amazon. Me, just like I explained, like I have 3 kids, our house being a warehouse with so many products, I just couldn't handle all of that with all, and then having to take care of the kids, plus wrapping products, plus sending them to Amazon, making sure they weigh the right amount. I'm the type of person where I want less than more. So when Lewis was like, hey, we can just send them to a fulfillment center and they'll package and send them to Amazon, I was like, okay, let's do that. So that was why we changed. And then Amy said, how do you deal with the ups and downs from selling and payments with Amazon in the beginning? Um,
The
Ups
beginning
and downs.
stages.
Okay. I think definitely it's not easy. You're spending a lot in the beginning, and you're not seeing like a constant return, So it is very, you're taking a risk. But what I noticed with Amazon is if you stay patient and you keep doing it, you are going to get your return. Amazon's just growing bigger and bigger. I actually, my a lot of people are telling me that, about the Amazon influencer and all these different things. And I'm like, they're just getting bigger and bigger. So the way I see it is if you see that trend of something growing, you don't want to like get out of it. And I think that's what we've always done with certain businesses that we get in, is like, okay, is this going to grow or is this something dying out? And the way I see Amazon is it's not going anywhere. If anything, it's going to get bigger because more and more stores are closing, more and more people are buying online. We saw that with COVID, that when the world shut down, literally everyone was buying online. So I feel like if you see that trend, that's something to remember. But I do know that it is hard in the beginning when you're just constantly buying, and you just gotta have that kind of like that positive mindset again. I'm not gonna quit on this. I'm gonna keep going. I know it's slow right now, but it is gonna get better, and just keep learning. Use that time to keep learning and learning more and more.
Yeah, and I'll just chime in too. So I'll give her the logical answer, right? So
Okay.
it's gonna come down to cash flow. So you need to learn how to manage your money. You need to fund this business. I was talking to Damon about this earlier. In the beginning, it's gonna be rough, right? Because you're sending out a lot of money to Amazon, and then it takes time for them to receive your product to sell it. And then, but after a while, Amazon is gonna pay you out, so money's gonna revolve. Does that make sense? But until then, it's not going to revolve. So you got to keep putting money in there. So I know it's tough mentally because you're deploying thousands of dollars right to Amazon,
Yeah.
and then it slowly pays you out. But the only way to keep the machine running is to keep deploying money to Amazon. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So I know in the beginning it's going to be rough. So I mean, the only answer really is to get your cash flow right and keep sending money to Amazon because the money is going to flow back to you. And also, the only way to really learn Amazon is to do it, right? I mean, you can watch all these like videos on YouTube and pay for all the courses, but
Yeah, you have to do it.
really, like the only way to really learn is for you to see actual data,
Take action.
and take action. So
Yeah. And I think the beauty about Amazon too, though, is that you can start not like look like $10,000. You can start with what, 3,000, 5,000. If you think about a storefront, people are spending 100 grand, 150 grand. Our friend bought a restaurant. It was like 100 grand just to start. And then you got to buy all the licenses. You got to get all the equipment. You got to get all the products, like all
hire
the
people.
hire employees. So think of your Amazon store as your storefront. You're not spending 100 and 150 grand to start off and taking that risk of, oh, I got to keep this store running, or if it closes down, I'm going to lose out all this money. You can keep putting small amounts and grow it slowly, or you can grow it fast, however you decide. but I mean, it is still your store. And I think that's the thing is people don't realize like this is your storefront because it's not, it's online. But if it was a store and you were actually buying a store, it's like way different, right?
Yeah, there's gonna be a startup cost for sure, but I think with this business, like you said, at least you're doing it in like small increments, right? Instead of, oh hey, here's like 200 grand and I'm just gonna dump it there.
And hope
At
for the
least,
best.
yeah, and I mean, at least with this one, you're like deploying like, oh, like $100, $200, 300. You're slowly building it.
Hmm.
So if you can manage your cash flow, then you're gonna be good.
Right. And then, oh, we got diamonds and thumbs up. And have you guys considered becoming Amazon influencers? So I actually have started Amazon influencer on, it just made sense just because I already buy a lot of Amazon products for myself. So I'm like, why not just, you know, influence people too? Like, why not just take pictures of what I'm buying just because I buy a lot of like products from overseas and stuff. I love like Indian products and Korean products and things like that. So the only place I can get it is Amazon. So why not take a picture of it and then do Amazon influencer too? It could be another source. But
I think we're at this place too where what are we really gonna do? Because we have an events business right now. We have an events business we're trying to do. We're doing Amazon, we're doing
I
a lot of
mean,
stuff.
honestly,
So
I'm just trying because I just love to show people like, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. Because I want everybody to win. I really think Amazon influencer, if you guys are into Amazon and you guys want another stream, that's something definitely you can look into. If you do buy from Amazon, you know, and you can even think of it this way, if you're buying products, right, then you can take a photo and then be an Amazon
yeah.
influencer for that.
Yeah, I mean we would do it more if we had the capacity, honestly. Because we think it's a really good business. But we're not really doing it that hard just because we're doing other stuff, you know. But for you guys, if you guys have the capacity and time, I mean, for sure, do it. It's
Mhm.
one of the best ways right now to make some extra money without really doing. I think it's very minimal risk too, right? I mean, you're not really deploying a lot of capital into it
Right.
because you're reviewing products that you're buying anyway. So
Mitchell said, I know this may be personal, but my fiance and I are doing this, and I know we are scaling. So I wonder, how do you guys keep your relationship and work separate with Liz being so busy on calls, dealing with people, and having to be constantly on work mode, and you being with the kids all the time and events, all that? That's a very good
it's a
question.
common
And
question
thank
that we
you
get
for
actually.
being vulnerable, you know, opening up about that. I definitely said like how we did therapy and everything. That was honestly why we got into therapy. Because when we first started business, we had no idea and we thought we had to be the same. And we realized we are totally opposite when it comes to business. Like Lewis said, he's super logical and he's the numbers guy. That's why he's so good at Amazon, honestly, because he tries to show me like all the products and data research. And I'm like, huh? Like, no. But if you give me like, I don't know, like I'm just like the other type of person. I like to do paperworks and I can talk to people, like I'll talk to anybody about anything. I don't care. I'm super honest. I love to share stories. I love to do content. I love to, I don't know,
Events.
I love events and I just love building communities too. This is actually what I love to do is I love building a group of people and just hearing about people's life and where they're from. And then when we get to meet in person, I love that. Like I love like family building in a way because I feel that's what people are drawn to is like a community of people of who just to support you because I came from a background of people not supporting me. My whole family said I was crazy. They literally made me feel bad like in my childhood, not my parents, but like outsider family. And so I think that kind of draws me to always helping people because we do have people in our life that are negative and I'm like, no, be part of something positive. So I want to be that positivity for people and help people and root for people. That's like what I love to do. And then I think we went into therapy because we had to learn our different roles. And I had to be comfortable with knowing how hard of a worker Lewis is and accept it. And I was okay with it. I was like, you want to work, I don't know, 16 hours a day, that's fine. I had to be okay with like giving up dates and all that stuff. But in the end, I'm like, it's okay because I don't, I guess I'm just different, right? I'm very different. I don't like a lot of things like Valentine's Day. I do like roses, but I'm like, no, I don't want to go out with a bunch of people. I'd rather be home and just kind of chill. Like he'll be like, "Do you want to go get coffee?" And that to me is like, "Oh yeah, I want coffee," you know.
Well,
But
give us some context. Mitchell and Rose are working
so
together
that's
though.
what I'm saying. You got to find the things that she loves. So if she does like Valentine's Day, you're going to be like, "Okay, babe, I'm going to work like this whole week, but on Valentine's Day, I'm gonna take you to the nicest restaurant. I'll get you the flower. I mean, don't tell her you're gonna get her the flowers, but get her the flowers. Do that romantic stuff that she knows that why you're working so hard. I think once Lewis told me, hey, I'm working my butt off for this, and this, it him communicating to me made me be like, okay, I understand why you're doing this. And I think that's what we always have is communication. Communication is key. He always keeps me informed, like, hey babe, I have a Zoom today at 5, I have a Zoom today at 3, but if you want to go get lunch, we can like put it in at 12 or something. So we're always communicating our schedules and how we can like work together. Um, and you too, he helps a lot with the kids if I need help. Activities, I always
Chores.
chores, activities, I'll be like, hey, our son has a basketball game this week. Can you make it? He'll look at his schedule. If he can, he'll definitely go. But if he can't, then I understand and I just take the kids. There are obviously are times where we do butt heads and I have to, keep him in check. But other than, I mean, it's not very often, but it's marriage. I think definitely we're always constantly working on ourselves as individuals, but we do work on our marriage too. So we always are like, oh, maybe let's go to this marriage counseling. If we think it's good, we'll go. We go to church. We're always just trying to help each other individually and as a couple and as parents.
I think it's phases too, right? I mean, in the
Yeah.
beginning, I think it's a different phase too. In the beginning, it's a lot of like hustle and bustle.
In the beginning, it's rough because you're trying to establish this new partnership, I think. Whereas before we were both like going to work separately. We didn't see each other that often. And that's why we were fighting. Like we were fighting a lot, honestly, when we were working because we never saw each other. So that was a fight because we weren't spending time like with each other. We were missing holidays. And I think that came from grief, just wanting that time. So that pushed us. But then it's like you start being with that person 24/7 and that's it's like you kind of learn like annoying things and you just got to learn how to work with it. So it's like a whole another phase you got to work through.
Was the thing in the beginning you had to like put in a lot of hours too together
Yeah.
because you're like launching something, right? And then
Yeah.
scaling. He's asking about scaling too. I mean, scaling is a different beast too, right?
I Okay, so I would say definitely with your fiance, you guys both write separate goals lists. See what her goals are with the business, see what your goals are with the business, see where you guys align and see where you have different aspects. And then one thing we did, I know this is kind of, mushy gushy, but we did a dream board together. And that was like in 2014. We actually need to do a new one, but it's so crazy. Everything that we did on our dream board together came true. Like everything that happened. We even put a little baby girl on there and we had our baby girl. So it's like just doing things together, I
We're
would
working on the six
say.
packs.
Oh well, we haven't gotten there yet. We're still working on.
It's like there was a photo of a couple with six packs.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't got to the 6 packs yet or yeah.
The physical goal.
The physical, but I would say like our spirituality, our marriage, our parenting, things we've really worked on to align with. It is hard because you're constantly trying to work with that person. You guys are different, but I would say if you guys still have that goal of working together, you guys are just going to be super successful.
They work well together.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
then there you go.
for sure. And they also have like a brother that they work with, and they work well together too with him.
Oh,
So
you guys are great. I mean, you guys already have a family member that's super supportive. That's way ahead of the game.
it's like a 3-man team with them.
Yeah. Like when Lewis and I started, we didn't have a lot of people that believed in us. Everyone thought we were crazy because we were leaving nursing for kind of the unknown. And so it was not easy. But that's awesome. That's congratulations, really. I need to do a vision board again. Laugh out loud. Yeah, do it. I really believe in all of those things. I do. I feel like if you're seeing it, you write it down, you're writing your goals every day, you're listening to positive podcasts or watching positive things, being around positive people, all of that matters.
Sounds corny, right?
It does sound corny, I know, but it really works. It really does. Do you guys have any other questions? I feel like I went, woo!
That was good.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? You definitely can ask away. I'm an open book. Anything personal, Amazon, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, of course. If you guys want to talk, by the way, you guys can mute.
Yes.
You guys are not. You guys are not in Zoom chat prison there. You know?
Yeah, no, I want to see your faces. Go for it.
Yeah, I guess can mute
Or
and,
I want to hear
and
your
talk.
voices. Yeah.
We can talk for sure.
Well, I just really want to say thank you, first of all, to the two of you, and just really compliment how well you work together. And I don't think people realize just how priceless that is, how you two can complement each other in a business like that. And one of the things that drew me to Lewis in the first place was his authenticity. I mean, he was a very down to earth guy, very authentic. I didn't get a lot of fluff from him. So when he started talking about Amazon, which I had already considered, I said, well, maybe this guy might know something. Everybody else, it just seemed like they were out of my range. They're making 40 and 50,000, and you go to this app and do this, and you can just do this. Like I can't do all that. Even though I'm not on the floor like you guys were, I'm a medical coder, so I worked a lot of hours too. I always did. I always have, and I worked in the ER for 5 years. So I've seen that amongst the nurses and amongst people. So I know how that work schedule can be when you're in healthcare. And I still know a lot of nurses that are very drained, that are very tired. My cousin is one. She went out of being on the floor to being a utilization manager, and she hates it. She hates it with a passion. She's like, okay, I don't. She doesn't know what else to do. And one of the key things I want to do with this business is not just success for myself, but as an example to show others and be able to help others to do the same thing that want to get out of these rat race jobs that they have. And just following the two of you, I've seen how you connect together. I've seen how you both can make it work from each side. Like you said, you complement each other. You know, his weaknesses are your strengths and your weaknesses are his strengths. And you combine together to make it all work. And what I love is that you said, don't give up on it. Because there's many a times I said, you know what, I can't do this. I can't research all this stuff. The money is not coming in like I needed to. And you just get all of these negative ideas in your head, like, oh my God, you know, should I have tried this? Why am I trying this? This just isn't going to work for me. And like you said, the key thing is to not give up because you're going to have those hard times in the beginning. You're going to see things on the downside in the beginning. But the more you keep at it, the more you grow, the more you invest, you start to see that difference and you start to see that change. And just by the way, I'm going to be moving out of this house soon and I'm going to have some equity. So I'm definitely going to be coming to you guys because I'm putting that equity, some of that equity into my business. So I'm definitely going to need that direction from you guys because I really want to scale this up and I really want this to be just another stream of income coming in to help me move to a lot more freedom. You know, I have elderly parents and I need to help take care of them. So I need that time freedom, but I need the financial freedom as well. I need a lot more than what my jobs are getting me. And I need a lot more time than what these jobs are allowed so that I can move into that space with them. But I just really wanted to thank you guys, and just in case everybody didn't know just how well you work together, what you have put together, and how you scaled it up, even just from the short time that I've known you, just really stick in the course and just really just follow what these guys are putting in front of you.
Thanks, Jerry. It's pretty sweet of you, man. You're doing
Anytime.
good, bro. I mean, I want
Yeah.
to say you're doing good too. You're trying really hard too. I mean, it's hard like taking care of your parents and working a job and trying to like study credit and funding and Amazon and
It's a lot.
all these things. Like it's not easy. Like people don't understand how hard this is, dude. It's
I
like
think
so much going on.
mentally that's a lot too, because not just having your parents, that's one thing in itself. Like having your parents get older and you want to take care of them, and just seeing like having that goal is such like mentally tiring. It's draining, because that's kind of where we're getting to that point too.
Yeah,
And
everyone's getting older, it's kind of getting sick like more and more.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
I think that if that's one of your goals, like definitely put that on your dream board, and
Exactly.
be praying for your parents and be praying for
Thank
you. And I know that it's hard in the beginning, but definitely keep going. We're here rooting for you for sure.
but it's trying really hard too.
Yeah,
I mean, it goes to Vegas a lot to like do the credit stuff, learn about credit, doing conferences.
Yeah.
Um,
To see you though, I just have to say that.
you didn't know it was him, huh?
I
I need to
did.
joke about the book.
But then I was like, wait, is that really Jerry? Like, because I remember going out and I was like, oh my gosh. Oh,
I made a boba joke.
I know,
Was
because
it-
you guys, we gotta get boba again.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Without a
Yeah.
doubt.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you both.
Thank you again. What was it like when you guys actually started making substantial income, and what was the change in people who had doubt? What was their mindset then? Oh, for like the people who had doubt in us, or
Man, making
okay.
income too is like that's a different story too, huh?
Let me just say, it's so true that once you start changing, I mean, I won't say it for everybody, but majority of the people who doubted us in the beginning, they changed. So once they saw that we valued ourselves, that we changed, just I think everything about, everything how we were before, they definitely respected us more. They I mean, there were some people that would ask us for money, obviously. We did see a lot of that.
It's tough.
It is tough. It's
You guys really
another,
want
it's
it's
a,
a
it's
different
another
beast.
phase.
It's a different beast.
It's another
like
phase.
once you learn how to make money, you man, this is so corny, right? Like more money, more problems. Like it solves a lot of your problems, but then you have new problems.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a lot in the mind to
A lot
to
of,
like receive. I think when you come from poverty and then you receive a ton of money and you don't know what to do with it, you kind of get
Yeah.
like confused in a way.
and just, I think the way we are too is we love to give. Like that's one of my things, is so like I feel bad when I don't. So we want to give to those people that we love. But I think for us, one of our biggest learning lessons was not to give to every, like, some people were trying to use us, and I think we had to learn how to say no. And that was a big thing. I had to learn how to say no, and like, hey, I can't, or I'm really sorry that that's happening to you, but I just, because it's not cool.
Yeah, and
Or like
plus
friendships were really toxic too.
like your behavior too. Like once you get over the hump, right? And then you learn how to make money, you need to figure out your behavior because you're still in poverty mindset.
Yeah, like,
Would you
and
say
then
that?
also you have to learn how to, I guess, figure out what you're gonna do with your money. Are you like, we do love to travel, but we're like, okay, we can't just travel everywhere and then forget about everything else. We have to stay focused on what we want in our business, and also with our kids, everything. We have to stay focused with every little aspect of our life, because you can make a lot of money and you can lose a lot of money too. We've seen that happen to a couple people where they make millions and then the next day they're buying Lambos, they're buying Rolexes, they're spending on whatever.
Yeah, you can easily fall into that too.
Yeah, you can
Like going to
easily.
expensive restaurants, buying like stuff that you don't need. I
Mhm.
mean, you would go through like different emotions. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But again, it comes down to personal development, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that's why like spiritual development is going to be huge.
Stay true to your values too. Like, if I don't know, like, don't start hanging out with the wrong people just because they have all this money. Like, I think that's something else that we also know about ourselves is just because these people have millions and they're spending millions and they're going like this at the clubs, like, those aren't the people that I'm attracted to. So know your values, know who you want to hang out with when you do have money, when just that atmosphere that you want to be in. Any other you want to answer?
No, I think with doubters, I mean, doesn't even really matter, right? I mean,
it is hard. Like I think the thing is, if you have family that you really love, I mean, obviously we love our families. But if they're really toxic for you, that is something that is hard to go through. It was hard for me. I think it took about 2 years for me to cut off certain family members, just because I'm the type where I want everyone to feel like a family and I want to be loved and I want to be the best niece or best cousin or whatever. But I had to realize these people are never going to accept me. They're always going to be super toxic. And I don't wish them harm. I don't wish them bad, but I don't want to be surrounded by that anymore. So I had to block them from Facebook. I had to not go to the Christmas parties anymore. You had to do that too. So, like, for both of us and friendships too, we had to realize who were those friends that were not good for our atmosphere, just for our brains.
it's a lot,
basically.
right?
Yeah.
That's why again, personal development, right?
Yeah.
You got to
personal
really
development.
do personal development, heal yourself, and that way you can decide because you're gonna be confused, man.
Yeah.
It's so confusing when you're like trying to like change yourself.
Mhm.
Everything changes around you, and you're like just so confused, right?
Yeah. And it is hard, but baby steps for sure. Don't just like, oh, this person's toxic today, so I'm cutting them off.
Yeah.
We're not perfect. Everyone is imperfect. But if you see it as a trend, I guess, as a person who's constantly putting you down, making you feel bad, constantly bringing drama into your life, then if it's a trend, then I would say to really analyze that relationship or atmosphere of people. Yeah.
We're going deep with this one. Told you guys. It's not going to be logical.
So, and then honestly, once you get to this point where you really like value yourself, and I mean, we do all value ourselves, but when you get to that point where you really don't care, people who doubted you or who still doubt you, it doesn't even phase you because you're just like, I'm so busy with all of this other stuff. I don't really care how those people feel. I still have a lot of haters, but I'm like, whatever, you hate me. Okay, good, great. Keep going. I have 3 kids. I have a business. I have people that actually want to talk to me. And those are the people I'm going to give my time to. I'm not going to waste my time on people who don't like me yeah. Any books or podcasts that you recommend when it comes towards personal development? Ooh, we have a lot. First one, I would say, okay, you say your number one, I'll say my number one.
I'll say like follow people that you resonate with.
Okay,
because we might like that person, but you guys not resonate with that person.
I guess it depends like where you want to start working on. Like for me, I love Les Brown. Les Brown, when I first started getting into business, he was like, I could just put him on and he would make me feel so good about myself. And I love Les Brown. And now Lewis, he wrote a book with his daughter, and that was like, Lewis was like, have you guys ever met a celebrity and you're so scared? We were going up to meet Les Brown and I ran to the bathroom because I was so shaking because I was so nervous. Like I had my celebrity moment. And then I've actually seen real celebrities. Like I've met Usher and stuff like that. And I'm like, whatever, I don't care. But with Les Brown, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Les Brown. He was like, where are you going? Do you remember that?
Yeah, in LA. Yeah.
In LA. But yeah, I would recommend, let's see, Les Brown. I listened to Patrick Bet-David for like positivity, but also like world stuff. We listen to Grant Cardone. Who else?
I mean, Gary V.
Gary V. Books.
Books. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind is.
Oh, Secrets of the Millionaire was our first book that we ever read as a couple. It's who was it by again? I'm sorry.
T.R. Ecker.
T.R. Ecker. What I love about this book is that it literally takes you. So in the beginning, you don't know, like, okay, I've never gone to a fancy restaurant and ordered whatever on the menu. So it tells you little activities to start doing to get your mindset different. So I think that really helped us because it really made us step out of our comfort zone. We were eating In-N-Out like every day. And then we started reading this book and it says, go to a 4-star restaurant and you can't look at the price tag and you can't order chicken. And we're just like, wait, what? And so we did it. And, you know, it was hard because you're like, oh my gosh, I want to see the price. But it's makes you like look at this place that you've never seen and steps out of your comfort zone. And so yeah, I think little things like that. Another book is Lewis's book. If you guys haven't read it, I'm sorry, baby. I have to always promote, always have to promote your book. It's called Dream, right?
Yeah.
And if you guys want a copy, I'll send you guys all a free copy. Just DM your address and I will send you all a copy, a signed copy with Lewis's signature. Yeah, Lewis has a book. I'll send it to you, Jerry. Just send me your address. Yes, for sure.
I was a co-author though.
He was the co-author.
It's not really my book completely, but
don't
I'm a part of it. I'm not done paying it. I'm just
so we're telling them to be proud of the little achievements, and here you are. Be proud of your achievement. So Lewis was one of 14 authors, and they all wrote a story in this book about how from taking your life to the next level in your business. For Lewis, if you read his story, it's about how he lost his little sister to cancer, and it motivated him and still motivates him to this day in certain things because you know, she just wanted to live. And so he goes into detail of how that was. So yeah, if you guys want a copy, you guys can definitely get a copy.
I want to say like Rich Dad Poor Dad too is a good one.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
It helps you with your
Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, he's a good one too.
So we gave Grant Cardone, Patrick Bet-David, Gary V, Robert Kiyosaki, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T.R. Ecker, Les Brown. And then there's
also like local people. Like, I mean, you're a local pastor, right? If you have a local pastor or leader in your community, or
it
doesn't have to be like an influencer. It could be, I mean, it could be a family member, it could be an uncle.
That's
true. Can be grandma. I mean, my grandma, for example, was a big influence in my life too.
And grandma were both big influences on me for business.
So I would, I like to learn from different people.
I know, like our pastor, our local pastor, he's kind of like a business person too with his, with everything he does. He's trying to do like basketball camp for kids and the local communities and things like that. So I love learning from that because that's something I would love to do in the future too, is help kids. So I DM my address to you on IG Veronique. Okay, I'll send you the book for sure. Podcast, Les Brown, Grant Cardone. Yes, definitely. Yeah. And then I'll send you Lewis's book, Mitchell, if you want a copy as well.
Oh my God.
Just anybody who wants it, DM Lewis your address if you're comfortable. Or it is on Amazon and I can send you the full name of it.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Oh, awesome. I'll make sure they're signed, okay, for you guys. Any other last questions? Oh my gosh. Any other questions? I think any last questions, guys?
Looks like we're good.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much again for having me on. I know it was a little bit different tonight. Like I said in the beginning, I love sharing with you all. I wish you guys all a success in Amazon or whatever business venture you decide to take. But we are here for you guys. We're rooting for you guys, and have a good rest of the day.
See you guys soon, guys.
Hey guys. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.